Hello kids, this is Fazan Hussain and today we are going to study a new chapter in class 9 biology, that is cell, the fundamental unit of life. Before studying the chapter, we are going to have a brief introduction of the chapter, like what are the topics we are going to cover in the chapters. So here, the topics to be covered in the chapter are: first is introduction to the cell. What is actually introduction to the cell? We can say what actually cell is, what it looks like. You can take an example. When a new teachers enter your class, you want to know who he or she is. Yes, right? In the same way, we will be discussing about the cell. Next is discovery of the cell. In the discovery of cell, we will study the historical background of the cell, that who discovered the cell and how. Next is cell theory. What are the various kinds of theories which are given after studying the cell? Next is cell membrane, shape and size. We will study the cell membrane. Actually, cell membrane is the outer covering of the cell. You can say boundary of the cell. Its shapes and size we will study in this. Next is structural organization of cell. How cell structure is and how they are organized in the organism, we can say. Next is plasma membrane. Plasma membrane or cell membrane, we can say. We will study its function in detail. Next is nucleus. Nucleus is the control center of the cell, which controls all the activities of the cell. Next is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm, you can say this is the fluid which is present inside the cell, in which various kind of organelles are present. Next we will study the cell organelles. What are the various kind of organelles which are present inside the cytoplasm? Next is prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic, these are the primitive kind of cells, and eukaryotic, these are the evolved cell. Next is plant cell and animal cell. Plant cells and animal cell, what is the basic difference between plants and animal cells? We are going to study all this in this chapter. So first of all, we are going to start with the introduction to the cell. You might be curious to know that what actually cell is and how it look like. So first of all, I am going to tell you with the help of example. First of all, we can say that all the living organisms are made up of cell only. I am considering myself a living organism. Actually, I am a human being, and from, you can say, head to toe, I am made up of cell only. So here there are billions of cells present in the living organism. You can say, in the living organism, myself only. Here, from my nails to my hairs, from my skin, everything is made up of cell only. And there are various kind of living organisms present on the earth, which are very microscopic also and macroscopic also. Now the question arises, so what is microscopic and what is macroscopic? So first of all, microscopic, these are the organisms which cannot be seen through naked eyes. Naked eyes means, we can say, we need something magnifying glass or microscope kind of thing to view them. Next, macroscopic, these are the organisms which can be easily visible by our naked eyes. We can easily see, like animals, plants and all, we can easily see. So here, first of all, we can say there are various kind of organisms present on earth. And next point is, all organisms are made up of cell. Now here, living organisms are of two types, we can say, microscopic or macroscopic. Living organisms microscopic can not be seen by naked eyes. Next is macroscopic can be seen by naked eyes. So microscopic organisms, these are the organisms of which size is very small, that we cannot view these by our naked eyes. We need some magnifying glass or microscope. And macroscopic, these are the organisms which we can easily see with the help of our naked eyes, and these are larger in size. So on the basis of cell number, we can further classify the organism into two types, like we can see the unicellular organism and next is multicellular. Unicellular, uni means one and cellular means cell. So here it is made up of single cell and multicellular means many, and it is made up of multiple cells. So we are taking an example of, you can say, unicellular microscopic like amoeba, paramecium. These are some of the examples of unicellular microscopic organisms which we cannot see through our naked eyes. These are made up of single cell only, and these are living also. And multicellular organisms, we can say these organisms are made up of many type of cells, many cells and many types of cells. And its examples are human being, cat, dog, animals, plants, flowering plants, and trees, fishes, whales, etc., etc. So is it clear to you all now what is microscopic, what is macroscopic, what is unicellular, what is multicellular? All organisms are made up of cell. So with this we can conclude that cell is the building block of living organism, right? So cell is the building of living organism. Cell is the building block of our living organisms. We can say, suppose we are taking an example of a building. A building is made up of small bricks, right? So in the same way, our body is also made up of cells, small tiny microscopic unit known as cells. Like these are the bricks in building. So for living organisms, these are the cell, the small microscopic unit a living being is made up of, right? So here it is the basic structure of any living organism. These cells performs the various functions inside our body. So we can see cell is the basic structure and functional unit of life, right? So here comes cell is the basic structure and functional unit of life, right? So cell is the basic structure and functional unit of life. And as I told you, there are some microscopic unicellular organisms also. Unicellular means to one cell. So it means we can conclude that cell is capable of independent existence, right? Cell is capable of independent existence, right? And every organism is made up of cell or its product, right? Or every organism is made up of cell and its product. Every organism is made up of cell and its product, and each cell has its own lifespan, right? So cell is capable of independence existence also. Every living organism is made up of cell, and cell is able to perform the various metabolic activities, right? Now, one more point. Cell is capable of performing various metabolic activities. Now, you might be curious to know that, sir, what is metabolic activities? We are not getting what is metabolic activities. So don't worry, I am here to clear your doubt only. Metabolic or metabolism is a term that is used to describe all chemical reactions involved in maintaining the living state of the cell or organism, you can say. It is further classified into two categories. First is catabolism and second is anabolism. Catabolism, you can say, the breakdown of molecules to obtain energy, and anabolism, we can say, the synthesis of all compounds needed by the cell. So here we can say metabolism. Metabolism is used for the functioning or growth of the organism, right? So these are the activities by which a living organism is able to function and is able to grow. So whatever nutrition we are taking is either utilized to obtain energy, to do work, or for further growth of the cell, right? We can consider it here. So these are the few characteristics of the cell. Now